As you know, Pete is in some legal trouble at the moment, but it is important for us to keep his message alive during this time. The special you're about to watch originally aired October 30th, 1999, right in the middle of the Y2K scare. Be advised, not everything in this special has aged well. However, it is important to show some of the things that Pete has done for this country. Please keep his message alive, and happy Halloween.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of the Patriot Pete Show. This is our Halloween special, and I want to go around the room. We're all dressed up for Halloween. I want to go around the room and make sure everyone talks about their costume, their inspiration, and why they decided to dress up like that for Halloween. And we'll start over here with Clark. Clark, who are you for Halloween?
Well, I am Donald Trump.
I don't know who that is.
I'm very, very rich.
Not ringing a bell.
I was in Home Alone 2.
Oh, yeah, when Macaulay Culkin asked for directions.
Yes.
Yeah. You're that guy.
Hotel.
I didn't realize that you were an actor. Okay. You
Yes,
should have said actor. I would have known that.
Right.
Why did you decide to be Donald Trump today?
Well, because I admire him. He's rich.
Because he can give directions to Macaulay Culkin.
Exactly. He seems like a fine, outstanding American.
Okay.
He's a Democrat, and so
a Democrat.
Yeah, he's one of those very few well-adjusted, rich Democrats.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. Well, you know what? I applaud that. I didn't realize he was well-adjusted, and that's incredible. I appreciate it. Probably well-spoken as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Is he a family man? I don't know much about the guy.
Yeah. Well, he's had a few. I mean, let's just say sometimes families can't stay together.
Sure. Things happen. I've been married a couple of times. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he would love his second wife as much as his first.
They say if you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah.
You're the last love.
Yeah.
You may not be the first, but you might be the last love, and that's important. And I look up to guys like that, strong man, manly man, good Christian, democratic man.
Rich.
I think of people like Kevin Spacey, straight American, rich man.
Yeah.
Right.
That lead this country. And, of course, he's an actor. I think a good family man like Ronald Trump. You say Ronald?
Yeah. No, Donald.
Donald Trump. I think of people like that when you say good, upstanding, straight, strong man. I'm thinking of people like Bill Cosby. That's a guy that, has made America laugh, made America think, made America question, and has really done so much for humanity. And that's a guy that, I'd pay $10,000 just to have a drink with him.
Wow.
Just to sit down with him, to pick his brain. I mean, what an amazing guy that Bill Cosby is. And, these are guys that, we see scandals left and right, Clinton, his scandal and stuff like that. You're not going to see scandals with these people.
No,
Kevin Spacey's, the Bill Cosby's, the Donald Trumps. I think this is the kind of people that we got to look up to.
Absolutely.
Going into the millennium.
Absolutely.
Our producer, Eric, is also dressed up today. Hello, Eric, and who are you dressed as?
John Candy.
Oh, I love John Candy. Now, that's another American hero. I think you will, though. Mark my words, I think you will see some controversy with John Candy. I think you will see that. The funny guys are always hiding something dark. That's why I appreciate people like Ronald Trump and Kevin Spacey and all those guys, because they are who they are. They're not necessarily funny guys. They are real guys, real men. But John Candy is great too. I love his movies.
Yeah.
I like the little hat. Too.
He wears hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to wear hats too.
Yeah.
So we're all dressed up for Halloween.
I mean, are you dressed up? I
didn't get to talk about my costume.
Yeah. And what are you dressed up as?
I'm a concerned citizen, because this year, October 1999, we're just 2 months away from Y2K, one of the scariest moments in human history. And it's not just going to affect us. It affects the world.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about ghosts. People talk about goblins and wahoos.
Mm-hmm.
This is something real. This is something tangible. This is something that's coming, and we got to be prepared for it. So that's why I decided to do this special today. I usually don't like celebrating Halloween because it's the devil's holiday, but everyone in this world should be very scared of Y2K. And for those who don't know what Y2K is, our producer Eric will be here to explain it. Go ahead, producer Eric.
So Y2K is actually, I think I read in one of the papers, was that everything was supposed to shut down. Am I
missing something? Or?
If I could expand on my colleagues. Great.
Yeah, go right ahead. Go ahead.
So what's going to happen is that your toaster, your vacuum cleaner, your handheld radio, your VCR are all going to think it's the year 1900.
It's going to short circuit.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that movie Short Circuit?
Yeah.
It's not like that, but it in the phrase it is, because they're all going to short circuit and it's going to explode. And nuclear, what we got to look out for is the nuclear power plants. They're going to explode because it's going to think it's 1900s. You know, they didn't exist back then. So what happens when you know you're not supposed to be? If suddenly appeared right now and I was like, I'm not supposed to be in this timeline, I would just explode. Right. That's what's going to happen because the computers weren't set. Nobody thought we would live to see the year 2000.
Right.
I went to the cinema last night. I watched that new movie that came out with that guy from Bill and Ted. What's his name? Piano or
Lawrence Fishburne?
Lawrence Fishburne's in it. And some other people. It was really great. It's called The Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
And I was watching that movie and it hit me. I had this epiphany that's what life is kind of like. Now, if you don't know what The Matrix is, I don't really understand it. But essentially, they had a guy that was living in the real world, but it wasn't really the real world. It was a program he was living in. And the real world was really him being plugged up into this machine. I realized that's us. I don't know if anybody else made that connection, but as I was watching, I had this sixth sense almost where I can see something and start to put together, which is what makes me a good communicator. Because I could see something and then bring it into real life and explain it to people. And that's what I feel like The Matrix was. I don't know if it was intended this way, but to kind of be a reflection on what life is like right now. That we're doing the day-to-day, this and that. And I feel like sometimes, and I had this sentence that came to my head, and it was so powerful. And it said, Pete, you have to help people escape the matrix.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a powerful saying that is.
Now, what if the movie is like a warning sign to us all and a calling card for you to say, hey, Pete, we need you to help these people because this is going to happen.
I feel like
Y2K.
I feel like those Wazowski men, the men who wrote it, were almost talking to me directly and saying, wake up.
I think so.
And help these people escape. And so I coined the term red pill, blue pill.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually got it copyright pending. I hope it goes through before January 1st. But what I mean when I say red pill, blue pill, if you haven't seen the movie, red pill is the people that can have their mind open and understand and see the code behind the simulation. And a blue pill is people that just want to be stuck in that 9-to-5 grind, that whole thing. And so I coined the term red pill, blue pill, you know, and I would consider myself a red pill. That's a word, almost like an influencer. I don't know. That just feels right to say something like that. But like an influencer. And just to help influence people to help escape that matrix. So I just really thought that was a wonderful film. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. I hope they make it left off in a cliffhanger. I don't know if they're planning on doing another one or not, but
I hope they do like 4 of them. And I hope they're of equal quality. In fact, I just see it just getting better every time they make one.
I believe in my soul that if those movies continue, those 2 men that created that movie
were brothers.
2 brothers that made, and that's what it makes them even closer. And I think that's why they can almost, it's that bond that they have with each other.
I mean, it's a very masculine movie.
It's a very masculine. And you could tell that 2 men wrote this movie.
Yeah, 2 men that did not have any kind of conflicts with their sexuality or gender identification.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right.
If you haven't seen it yet, call the movie phone, have them tell you the times to your local theater, and I guarantee you're not going to waste any time by going to see that movie. It's definitely a mind-blowing experience. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the mailbag segment. Now, for those people who are wanting to send in their question, we have a fax. You can fax us at 555-FREEDOM. And our producer, Eric, here will read off the questions, and I will do my best to answer every single one of them. And you having some trouble over there?
Yeah. It just feels like the papers are all jumbled up. Like,
Well, I mean, that's just the way it
like
is.
they're not in order. Like I don't know. I just felt like it'd be more organized if maybe we switched over to email or something like that.
I will never switch to email.
AOL, Juno. There's a new one, Hotmail.
I'm not doing all that.
Why?
Absolutely not. First off, I don't like the way that Hotmail sounds. Can you imagine Patriot Pete at Hotmail? Absolutely not.
Oh.
That's not the kind of show we are.
Okay, I think I found some. Okay. It's like we have Lewis faxed in. Hi Pete. Great seeing you, getting prepared as all the advice that you're given for Y2K. But I want to know how do you go about building long-term wealth?
That's a very good question. I have thought about this for a long time, and what I've realized is real estate, you can't go wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I started doing about 5 years ago is buying up as much real estate as possible. Now, in my current job, I make about $2,200 a month, but I have about 10 properties right now. When I went to my mortgage guy, I said, hey, man, I want to buy this house. That's house, really big house, about a $150,000 house. I don't know how long it's going to take me to pay it. I said, don't worry about that. I said, well, how much is my mortgage payment going to be? He goes, how much can you afford? I said, I could afford $150 a month.
Mm-hmm.
He said, all right, we'll give you $150 a month. Now, in about 15 years, it's going to go up a little bit. By that point, though, I should be making a pretty good amount of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then, bam, I walk in that day without a house, walk out 30 minutes later, brand new homeowner.
Wow.
So then I thought, well, if that's that easy, I'm going to go back in and do it again.
Right.
I turned around, I got to my car, stopped at the door, turned around, went back to the bank because I was still in the parking lot. I went in there and I said, give me another one of them houses.
Right.
Because I could afford $300 a month.
Wow.
And then I got another one. And I kept doing that, repeating the process. I 10X'd it. And now I have 10 properties. And I paid maybe a little, I know it sounds like a lot, but I pay about $1,200 a month. But it's for long-term wealth.
Right.
That $1,200, I can pinch and scrimp for $1,200 a month to pay that. So I really would suggest people buy
as many properties as you can.
Yeah. Exactly. Buy as many properties as you can because that stuff's never going to go away. It's never going to, real estate is the safest place you can put your money.
Yeah, I don't care if you're talking 1 year, 5 years, 8 years, 15 years. That's going to be a solid investment.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter how much money you make.
Right.
No.
It doesn't matter how much you can afford because the bank is your friend. Always remember that.
Right.
The bank is your friend. If you walk into a bank and say, hey, listen, I want to buy this, what we call a McMansion.
Mm-hmm.
I want to buy this McMansion, but I only make minimum wage. Bank says, you know what? We're going to figure out a way to make this work.
Right.
And by God, they made it work.
Because the bank does not make money if they're not loaning the money out.
Correct. So it's common sense.
I mean, how simple can you make it?
And the people are like, well, I don't want them to have a lot of my information. Right. They don't ask you anything. God doesn't even know what I do for a living. I fill vending machines right now.
How's
that's
that
it.
working for you?
Yeah, well, I just got the job.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. He didn't even ask me how much, what I make, all that stuff. He just said, how much can you afford?
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him. He did stress to me that, hey, in 15 years, this thing might go up a little bit, your payment. But again, with inflation, I expect that.
Right.
And I expect to be making more money. I expect to be at least a manager of this vending machine job within 5 years.
Right.
So when it's time for me to pay a little bit more money, sure, I can spend extra $50.
Right.
Extra
What's
$75.
that? I mean,
exactly. So that's the kind of thing that I would do for long-term wealth, and it's guaranteed to work every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it's Halloween, and we all know what that means. It means that there's going to be some bad guys out there that are absolutely putting things in candy. You need to make sure you check your kids' candy before they consume it. I mean, I was reading something the other day. It's incredible what they're putting in. This is candies. Live ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I saw somebody pull a sword out of a Snickers bar.
Wow.
I mean, it's just absolutely insane what they're doing. You have to make sure you check that candy. You have to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we could
landmines. I saw a landmine and an oatmeal cream pie. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy what they're able to do with these people.
Mm-hmm.
What about
and the sick and twisted minds? Now, saying that, some people say, Pete, is there a candy that I don't have to check? Well, yeah. Candy that's made right here in America. That's candy you don't have to check.
Right.
Because you know that's been USDA, grade A approved.
Right.
Ain't nobody going to mess with America.
Right.
And,
well, I mean, it's Americans that made that candy.
Right.
So peppermint, for example, those peppermint candies, don't have to check it. Ain't nothing in there except for freedom. Well, guys, we're about to end up. I know it's a scary time out there. It's Halloween, and we're on the brink of complete disaster. I mean, it is not going to be fun out there. But I want to assure you that our team here has been working on what we like to call the PPP, the Patriot Pete Protection Program. It's a 64 program that you can install on your computer to get protection from Y2K. Now, we've got 3 levels to this. The first one we're giving out for free. You fax us right now, 555-FREEDOM.
Yeah.
Producer Eric standing by to get the faxes. And you fax us your mailing address. We'll send you out the first layer of the program so you can get at least a 25% protection from Y2K.
Right. It's a trial period.
It's a trial period. It only lasts for 30 days. So if you install it today, it's not going to last till December 31st. If you want it to last, though, you're going to have to get our PPP Booster Program, which is $299, and that's a 74-disc set. And that's going to provide you with 65% protection from Y2K.
Right.
Now, don't install them all at the same time because your computer's going to get confused. So install one set first, then wait 2 weeks, install another one second. Also, when you install the first program, you got to wait 15 minutes to make sure your computer doesn't freak out because it's a lot of information for your computer to take in all at one time. It could have the equivalent of a seizure in computer language. If you haven't seen The Matrix, you wouldn't understand.
Right.
And finally, if you want complete and full protection, 2 weeks after the second program, you need to install the PPP Plus program, and we call this the Booster Plus. It's a 102-disc set that will, with 100% certainty, protect you from Y2K. Now, there are breakthrough cases that we've seen a couple times where even at the max capacity, we have the rarity where the computer still failed. That happens, but it's like a 2%.
Right.
It's gonna, at the end of the day, it's gonna keep your computer from completely dying on you.
Yeah.
So if you really want the complete collection, you got to do the 3 programs. Now, the third program, did I get the price? I don't think I get the price on the third program. No. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but it's worth it. It's $499.
Yeah.
And now that's not all together. That's just for the third program, but it's going to guarantee 100%, 98% probability that you're not going to get it 100%. So guys, get your faxes in now to make sure that you're set and safe for Y2K. And we take American Express, MasterCard, whatever you've got, we'll take it because it's important. It sounds like a lot, but it's it's your future.
Yeah. Just make sure to write all your information on the fax. Name, card information, address, all that personal information. Write it all on the fax.
All on the fax. It comes right to us, producer Eric, and some other people that we don't know yet. We'll be the ones that are actually taking care of all that for you because we're so busy with prepping for Doomsday. We're not going to be able to do any more shows for the rest of the year. But I hope that with enough PPP that we can save this world from Y2K. If we can get at least 80% of the computers in the world on the PPP, we'll stop Y2K in its tracks. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the year 2000.